Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Running away with Goddess and turning a desolate island into a peach blossom land, we are preparing to survive on a deserted island. Ye Tian received a call from the goddess, saying that her parents did not agree to them being together. Let Ye Tian elope with her. Moreover, the goddess actually owns a private deserted island in heaven on earth. Ye Tian, who awakened the wilderness return system, decisively brought the goddess to the deserted island. From now on, sunshine, beach, and delicious food will accompany each other. Until one day, the goddess's family discovered her whereabouts. I searched for it one by one. Sister. Sister, there's no need to persuade me. I won't leave such a beautiful place even if I die. Brother. I'm here to take you back. I can't go back, please make sure I stay here with you for a long time. Parents. Ye Tian, how dare you kidnap my daughter? I'll tell you, you're done. Even if the heavenly king comes today, you'll still be the son.in.law of our Dai family. This book focuses on warmth, food, farming, and relaxation. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Elopement with Goddess. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Elopement with Goddess. Brothers, count the supplies again, and we'll be ready to depart. As per everyone's request, for this survival on the deserted island, besides the live broadcast equipment, I will only bring 10 express deliveries that you have sent. Go to the deserted island and open it again. Open one every day and use it for whatever you want. Conduct an unlimited survival challenge. Rent a house. Ye Tian looked at the camera and arranged the prepared live streaming tools one by one, doing the final inventory. It seems that the anchor is really playing this time. With so many power banks and solar charging devices, do you plan to stay on a deserted island for a long time? Anchor, don't be impulsive. Surviving on a deserted island is not just for fun. If you go as a wild person, what will little cute goddess do? Aren't you afraid she'll run away with others? There are quite a few bullet comments in the live broadcast room where Ye Tian has a small number of people. Looking at the audience's worried words. Ye Tian smiled slightly. I worked even harder just for her. The competition in the live streaming industry is so fierce now. If I don't bring out some good news, you always think I'm bragging. The most romantic thing I can think of is to slowly grow old with you. Before Ye Tian could finish speaking, the phone in front of him rang. Take a look at the name. Ye Tian pursed his lips and smiled. Pick it up. A crisp female voice came from across. Ye Tian, where are you? At the rental house, I was just about to leave. Do you still have the passport we went out to play with last time? Bring your passport and come to the airport now. I'll wait for you in the waiting room. What's the situation? Ye Tian was completely confused upon hearing this. My family doesn't agree for us to be together, so I want to elope with you. Let's go to a place that nobody can find. Ah. Ye Tian swallowed his saliva and couldn't react. Don't you want to survive on a deserted island? I'll go with you. Wait, Xiaomeng, don't be impulsive. The situation shouldn't be that serious. Didn't your mother promise us to be together when she asked me to achieve results before? That's all a lie to you. Yesterday, as soon as you left, they arranged for me to go on a blind date. Is there anything else? We must elope. Wait, I'll come over right away. Ye Tian's eyes widened. Without hesitation, put all the equipment into the box. I found my passport and ID card, picked up a huge backpack filled with packages, and rushed out of the room. Brothers, the situation has changed. Maybe I need to temporarily close the live broadcast for a while and wait until I get to the location to start broadcasting. Take advantage of the time of taking the car. Ye Tian spoke out to the camera. Anchor, what happened? What did you just say about eloping? Did we really get it right? Is there a situation on the side of the cute goddess? The situation is a bit complicated, and I'm not very clear at the moment. Let's turn off the live broadcast for now. Without much ado, Ye Tian turned off his phone. Compared to the audience in the live broadcast room, one's own woman is obviously much more important. Thinking about Dai Xiaomeng's words just now, Ye Tian couldn't help but look a bit ugly. I met my girlfriend Dai Xiaomeng during their time working and studying part-time in college. Perhaps attracted by one's own hard-working qualities, the other party, who is a highly sought-after school flower, ultimately chose oneself as an unknown man. Ye Tian also cherishes this relationship exceptionally. For the happiness of the two in the future, after graduation, Ye Tian worked 2 jobs at the same time and even used his free time to live stream and make money. Unfortunately, we usually live stream our daily lives. It cannot bring too much income. So yesterday, after meeting Dai Xiaomeng's parents for the first time, Ye Tian became more determined and prepared to come to a deserted island survival challenge to attract more fans to watch. But I didn't expect that after only one night, things would turn out like this. Lost in thought. The car has arrived at the airport. Run to find the waiting room. Ye Tian immediately saw Dai Xiaomeng anxiously looking towards the entrance. Xiaomeng, what you just said on the phone is true. Looking at his girlfriend with a haggard face and red and swollen eyes, Ye Tian painfully wiped her teary eyes. Well, I don't want to stay at home anymore. What I like is you. Besides you, I don't want anyone else. Shall we go far and wide together? Okay, when we get there, let's find a job first. I won't let you suffer with me. We can't look for a job, we have to go to a place where nobody is around. Why? Dai Xiaomeng let out a bitter smile. Ye Tian, there's actually something I've been keeping from you. Our family's power may exceed your imagination. I can confidently say that as long as we are still in human society, there will always be a way for our families to find us, it's just a matter of time. So awesome. Well, so I didn't bring anything related to my family when I went out this time. Even the plane tickets were bought with the pocket money I saved when we worked together. You won't blame me for hiding so much from you, will you, silly girl? You're going to elope with me. Why are you saying these things? By the way, where are we going now? Maine. Maine. The capital of Dr. Mayer. Well, only Maine has an international airport over there. Let's go there first and then find a way to leave. This. Ye Tian who looked at Dai Xiaomeng suspiciously for a moment. Xiaomeng, are you sure we are eloping and fleeing? Didn't you come up with an excuse to travel with me? And if we go there, how long can we stay there with our passports and visas? You don't have to worry about this, we're different from the others. What's different? I have a small island over there. Chapter 2. I have a private island. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. I have a private island. Ye Tian was once again dull. Today, he really couldn't keep up with his own girl's pace. What is this all about? That small island was a secret adult gift from my grandfather, not even my family knows. I thought I would have the opportunity to go and see it in the future, but who knew it would become our future home? Speaking these words, Dai Xiaomeng didn't know whether to cry or laugh. Ye Tian blinked his eyes. It took a while to confirm that Dai Xiaomeng was really not joking with herself. At this moment, his heart couldn't stop beating wildly. In heaven on earth, there is a small island of its own. Build your own house on the island, facing the sea, with warm spring flowers blooming. Blue sea and sky, a comfortable life. Does happiness come so suddenly? What Ye Tian was thinking, Dai Xiaomeng naturally didn't know. After finishing these words, she couldn't help feeling a bit lost. After a while, she buried her head back in Ye Tian's arms. Worried, Ye Tian said, if we go over there, will we starve to death on the island? I was worried about the danger of you doing live streaming before. I watched many survival videos in the wilderness, and those people inside were so pitiful. When they returned one by one, they were all starving. But we have always had to live on the island, hungry. With me around, you don't have to worry about this at all. Ye Tian smiled slightly, rubbed Dai Xiaoming's hair, and comforted her. You sound like you know it very well, and I'm not unaware of you. There has been a lot of research in this area, but in practice many of the programs I watch are survival experts. It's not like being full and hungry. Silly girl, if you're afraid of being hungry, how dare you elope with me? I'm willing to starve to death if I can be with you. Dai Xiaoming arched in Ye Tianhui and pouted. Ye Tianxin smiled with relief. Having a wife like this, there is no need for a husband. Xiaoming, don't worry, even if you are a wild person, I will definitely not let you go hungry or cold. Just make me happy, anyway I'm prepared to endure hardship. Ye Tian smiled and shook his head, without further explanation. But the mind sank into an interface that others could not notice. Wilderness 10,000 times return system activation conditions, activate a desolate island survival, host. Ye Tian, that's right. Just a few days ago, Ye Tian unintentionally awakened such a system. However, it was just awakening and did not bring any benefits. Because we need to start the system, according to the system prompt, we must first perform a survival mission on a deserted island. Ye Tian has also experimented in the past few days, surviving in the wild near the city without any response from the system. So, Ye Tian chose to use the method of surviving on a deserted island to boost the popularity of his live broadcast. By the way, let's experiment with the functionality of the system. But what he didn't expect was that he chose the beginning well. But I didn't guess the result correctly. The simple survival on a deserted island has now turned into a deserted island elopement. It feels like dozing off, giving pillows and having a wife attached. These little days, should we be so perfect? With a silly smile on his face. The boarding time has also arrived. I nervously chose to tow the filming equipment and the express delivery of the large backpack. After passing all the tests, Ye Tianchang breathed a sigh of relief and boarded the plane with Dai Xiaoming. The girl on the plane seemed to stay up all night, with Ye Tian by her side. Finally, she could close her eyes. 7 hours later. The two energetic individuals walked out of main airport carrying their luggage. Before landing, Ye Tian discovered that this was the capital of Dr. March. Actually, it's not big, at best it's similar to a small county town in China. However, the blue sky and blue sea make the climate pleasant. You can feel the strong vacation atmosphere right off the plane. Unfortunately, the two of us are not on vacation this time. Speaking half-cooked English, the two of them wandered around for a long time before finding a temporary translator. I gathered all my belongings and exchanged them for coins. Then I asked around. The two of them don't have enough coins to rent a speedboat to go out to sea. Not to mention taking a seaplane. Because Dai Xiaoming's small island is located on the edge of over 1,000 undeveloped islands in the Maldives. If you go from Maine, it will definitely be a considerable journey. In the end, with the help of a temporary translator, the two contacted a private fishing boat willing to take them there. However, the price offered directly drained all the remaining savings of the two. Ye Tian, who had originally planned to prepare some supplies for the island, could only dispel this idea. Commander Guangan usually dragged his luggage onto the fishing boat. Chapter 3. Arriving at the small island. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Arriving at the small island, there is really no return now. Sitting at the bow of the boat, watching the city getting farther and farther away. Dai Xiaoming sighed. Don't be so pessimistic. Just now, I asked the translator to help me ask the boatman. We didn't completely isolate ourselves from the world when we arrived there. Occasionally, fishermen will still fish between islands. The tourism industry here is developed, and fishing prices are not low. In the future, we can earn money to purchase the necessary materials when we have harvest. I won't let my goddess really be a wild person. Ye Tian smiled and said. You can comfort me, I should be lucky not to starve to death, and still make money. Seeing Ye Tian's confident expression, Dai Xiaomeng couldn't help but smile a bit. In my mind, I seem to have a scene of two people farming and weaving on the island, occasionally earning a little money to add bricks and tiles to the family. Unfortunately, ideals are beautiful, reality is bone deep. As fishing boats move away from the city, islands began to appear continuously around. Just looking at the scenery, Dr. Mer is described as pearls scattered from heaven on earth for a reason. Even a deserted island has exceptionally beautiful scenery. But carefully observing the trees and jungles on the island without any buildings can make one feel a sense of loneliness for no reason. Moreover, the rumored abundance of fishing resources in this area does not seem to have been revealed to Ye Tian. The owner of the fishing boat keeps going and often throws nets to catch fish. But there are very few fish caught. Until Ye Tian and his companions were sent to the place, they did not catch much fish. Fortunately, although there was not much fishing on this trip, the boatman received a generous ticket from Ye Tian and his crew, which was not a loss. He generously took out some small fish that didn't meet the specifications for sale and invited Ye Tian and his team to have a few meals. Otherwise, after these 2 days of wandering, Ye Tian and his wife, who have not even had enough money left for meals, are afraid to make a scene and die before they succeed in their graduation. On the morning of the 3rd day, the fishing boat has finally arrived at its destination. Ye Tian and his companions, who were still drowsy on the boat, were awakened by the shouting of the fishing boat owner. Looking around. In front of me is a shallow blue coral sea. Ye Tian poked his head out, and the seawater below was exceptionally clear. Even through the seawater, one could see the coral reefs below. Going further ashore, the seawater turned emerald green. A circle of emerald green envelopes the lower part of the beach, which stretches out and emits an ivory-white color under the sunlight. On the small island behind the beach, tall coconut trees protrude their heads towards the sky. It's so beautiful. It's almost no different from the picture. Dai Xiaomeng looked at her small island, with a blush on her pink face. At this moment, any fear or loneliness is replaced by the beautiful scenery reflected by the blue sky and white clouds. On such a beautiful island, even if you starve to death, it's worth it. Ye Tian also nodded in satisfaction. I have seen many islands along the way before. But most of them are just observing from a distance, and many islands have very small areas and nothing to see. But the island in front of us is noticeably larger in scale, with the beach line visible within our line of sight being at least a few hundred meters. The island is lush and densely vegetated, with wild growth at first glance. For a survivor, the more vegetation there is, the more resources there are. In the future, survival will also be much simpler. With a hint of excitement, Ye Tian and his companions couldn't help but want to hurry up and take a look on the island. But after gesturing for a while, the boatman remained motionless. Instead, a large thick foam plate was removed from the cabin. There is also a rope tied behind the foam board. Then, the boatman threw the foam board into the water and made a gesture of "please" to Ye Tian and his wife. Ye Tian frowned. Don't you take us over. As he spoke, Ye Tian gestured to set sail again. Chapter 4. Taking a Mandarin duck bath. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Taking a Mandarin duck bath. The boatman shook his head. Pulling Ye Tian to the side of the boat, he pointed to the clearly visible coral reef not far away. 2 fingertips extended horizontally, followed by a clicking sound from the mouth. Make a broken palm look. Looking at the other person's description, if Ye Tian doesn't understand what they mean anymore, then he's really an idiot. Is this boatman saying that the ship cannot pass? Dai Xiaomeng asked. Ye Tian nodded and said, the reef here is too shallow. If his boat goes further inside, it is very likely to hit the reef. It seems that we have swam over. Swim over, what about our things? Dai Xiaomeng can swim, but inside the big and small bags that Ye Tian brought, it is obvious that many things cannot be submerged. It's okay. The foam board is thick and big enough. You will sit on the foam board and hold something later. It should not sink. I will swim behind you and push you to get there. After a moment of contemplation, Ye Tian came up with a plan. Then he came to the side of the boat and leaned out to stabilize the foam board. Dai Xiaomeng did not wriggle, but carefully supported Ye Tian's back, stepped out of the ship's side and stepped on the foam. After a slight shake, Dai Xiaomeng succeeded in sitting in the middle of the foam board. Ye Tian breathed a sigh of relief and handed over their packages. Everything was put on the foam board, and the foam board also sank a lot. However, it was still relatively stable. Ye Tian took off his clothes and shoes and threw them into Dai Xiaomeng's arms. Gently descend into the water. The stimulation of the seawater immediately lifted his spirits. He waved with the boatman and pushed the foam board slowly towards the shore. How about seawater being icy or not? The seawater here is not deep, so Dai Xiaomeng didn't feel too scared and couldn't help but ask. It's very comfortable. We can go ashore and put our things away later. We can definitely take a Mandarin duck bath first. Ye Tian chuckled. Dai Xiaomeng took a sip of Ye Tian and blushed beside her cheeks. Previously, I only worried about survival issues and didn't think much about other things. But Ye Tian's words forced her to formally address this issue. From now on, I will truly be a lonely man and a widow, living together on a deserted island. The two have been together for so long, but Ye Tian has never been the kind of person to act recklessly. So although they have a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, they have always treated each other with respect. You can hold hands, embrace, but never go too far. We both want to leave the most beautiful memories for the day we truly get married. And this is also the reason why Dai Xiaomeng chose Ye Tian among so many suitors. What she values is the character of the other party, who is loyal, honest, and hardworking. But now it seems that the promised wedding day may be a bit difficult to achieve. In the future, on the island, the more she thought about it, the more shy Dai Xiaomeng's face became. Unable to stop, he secretly glanced at Ye Tian several times. Then she shook her head and her face turned even redder. About 20 meters away. It is supported by foam board. Without much effort, Ye Tian pushed Dai Xiaomeng to the shore. The two stepped on the soft and delicate beach. I took down my luggage one by one. Give a shout to the fishing boat across from you. The boatman shouted at them a few times, as if saying goodbye. Then pull the rope to pull the foam board back to the boat, and turn around to sail away. In an instant. Only Ye Tian and his companions are left on the island. We're home. I'm not in a hurry to pack my luggage. Ye Tian buried his head in the water. Then he stood up suddenly. Open your hands to the gentle sea breeze. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. The unique scent of the ocean made him unable to stop and let out a comfortable long drink. Is it so comfortable? I haven't been to the beach before. Dai Xiaomeng looked at Ye Tian enjoying himself and covered her mouth with a smile. Just give it a try and you'll know. Ye Tian raised the corner of his mouth and, taking advantage of Dai Xiaomeng's lack of attention, grabbed her soft skirt and carried it into the water. Then, before Dai Xiaomeng could react, splashes of water had already fallen on her head. Oh, don't make a fuss, your clothes are all wet. If it gets wet, then it gets wet. It hasn't changed in 2 days, it should have been washed long ago. I have to wash it for you too. As soon as Ye Tian finished speaking, he also received a water bullet on his head. Dai Xiaomeng played with Ye Tian with a bright smile. On the deserted beach, due to their arrival, there seemed to be some extra vitality. After a long time, the two finally stopped. I cleaned the clothes that were covered in sweat after wearing them well for 2 days. Return to the shore and start counting supplies. When Dai Xiaomeng saw Ye Tian's entire box of live streaming equipment, she showed a hint of hesitation. We are now truly surviving on a deserted island. Do we still live stream? Ye Tian remained silent for a moment and nodded heavily. Broadcast. Although you are willing to suffer with me, as a man, I can never let you suffer such injustice. My parents-in-law look down on me now. One day, I will make them willingly marry you to me. Prior to this, I had accumulated the capital to engage in equal dialogue with them in my own career. Live streaming is the first step. Chapter 5. Universal Energy Charger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Universal Energy Charger. Speaking. Ye Tian began to open the sealed package. Take out the equipment. But the hand just reached into the bag. Ye Tian's expression was just a pause. Detected that the host has activated a deserted island for survival, and the 10,000-fold return system has been activated. The newbie gift package is being distributed. Please specify 3 items for a 10,000-fold return experience. Specify 3 items. And this operation. Ye Tian blinked his eyes. Subconsciously, he looked at the equipment in front of him. The most crucial thing we brought this time should be the Tianyangning charging device. And this set of equipment is also the culprit that spent most of Ye Tian's savings. To pursue high quality and quality, so that it can survive on a deserted island without losing its link. And in the system prompt just now. It does not mean that high-tech items cannot be returned 10,000 times. So. Just you. Ye Tian placed his hand on the heavy solar charging device. A command was issued to the system. At the next moment, the system sound will sound. The solar charging panel has been successfully refunded at a rate of 10,000 times. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Cosmic Energy Collector. The Cosmic Energy Collector is made of titanium alloy fused with cosmic crystals, which can absorb and transform any cosmic energy. The 24-hour absorption and conversion of energy can provide a 1-week endurance for small spacecraft. Can provide household electricity for 10 years. 10 years. I'll strangle it. Isn't it a dream? Ye Tian stared with eyes wide open. It's a bit unbelievable. Swallowing saliva. Took out the charging device. But it was discovered. The originally dark charging case and solar charging panel have now completely transformed. To be precise. It's simply not something. The so-called cosmic energy harvester in front of us now. The weight is only 1/5 of the previous one. It looks like about 4 or 5 pounds. It is a square silver-white box full of technology. Below the box, there is a row of sockets. It looks like it's waterproof. On top of the box, there are only a few buttons. One of the largest ones is written with the words, "Start." Ye Tian hesitated for a moment. I clicked to start. Then it was discovered. The top of the box spun like a science fiction film and opened up. A pitch-black stick protruded from it. About 1 meter. The next moment, the stick began to split like an umbrella. Extend in all directions. In the end, it turned into a celestial pot-like object. Towards the direction of the sun at this moment. Then the scale value of the box below lights up. Display the start of charging. What is this? Dai Xiaomeng had a pair of beautiful eyes wide open. Squatting over to Ye Tian. She couldn't help but be shocked. Because even with her family background, I have seen a variety of household smart devices. I have never seen such a precise object before. Just a black stick automatically extends, transforming into a heavenly pot. It has already exceeded her cognition. Ye Tian swallowed his saliva. For a moment, I didn't know how to explain. After a while, he said, I spent a lot of money to get a solar charger, it's amazing. It's not just amazing, it's unbelievable. It's too precise, I've only seen such amazing appliances in science fiction movies. Can this thing really charge? Just give it a try and you'll know. Ye Tian was also uncertain, hesitating for a moment. I took out my own phone. After inserting the charging wire, insert it into the hole on the box. Ding. At the same time as the charging sound sounds. Both Ye Tian and Dai Xiaomeng's gaze turned to the phone screen. Large bubbles began to rise one by one. Display successful charging. But the next moment, Ye Tian realized something was wrong. As bubbles burst out on the screen, the remaining 50% of the battery was instantly reduced to 60%. Come to Ye Tian's senses. The phone shows that the battery is fully charged. The two exchanged a glance, their faces filled with shock. Is it really fake, so fast? It's impossible to charge the socket at home so quickly, right? Xiaomeng, where's your phone? Take it out and give it a try. After Ye Tian pulled out his phone and confirmed that it was indeed fully charged, he spoke out in disbelief. Dai Xiaomeng quickly handed over her phone. Both of them remembered this time. Dai Xiaomeng's phone has a battery capacity of 30%. At the next moment, Ye Tian plugged in the charging cable. 1 second. 2 seconds. 7 seconds. Charging completed. Oh my. Ye Tian, what kind of charger are you? That's amazing. 10% per second. I have never seen a charging device that can charge so fast. I'm afraid it's not because of the charger, but because of the input device. After a moment of contemplation, Ye Tian focused his attention on the cosmic energy harvester. Generally speaking, the speed of charging a mobile phone is related to the charger and the quality of the phone. But these two things are clearly unchanged from before. The problem can only occur on the cosmic energy harvester. Being able to output such terrifying electrical energy has not yet damaged the phone and charger. It's simply unbelievable. Chapter 6. Is this UFO or drone? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Is this UFO or drone? Dai Xiaomeng's mouth slightly opened. Looking at the solar charger in front of me equally incredulously. Grandpa gave her this island. It's just an uninhabited deserted island. There is no water or electricity here. There are no various technological products in modern society. Before coming, she was already prepared to endure hardship with Ye Tian. Intelligent electrical devices like mobile phones. She didn't even expect to be able to use it consistently. But I didn't expect it. Ye Tian surprisingly solved the electricity problem so easily. After returning the phone to Dai Xiaomeng, Ye Tian seemed to have thought of something and laughed even more happily. Xiaomeng, you don't have to worry about boredom now. This place is located near the equator and has a tropical rainforest climate. The island is rich and diverse in biology, and the surrounding waters are rich in lobsters, sea cucumbers, groupers, and so on. We caught fish, built boats, and then went to places where humans live to exchange for currency and purchase the necessary daily necessities. After building the house, buy back all the air conditioning, refrigerator, and TV. This way, you can feel like you're at home. After arriving in a strange place, I always feel anxious and uneasy in my heart. Ye Tian said this to create hope for Dai Xiaomeng. Sure enough, after hearing Ye Tian's words, Dai Xiaomeng had a strong look of hope in her eyes. I watch TV with the air conditioning on every day. No parents force blind dates. The person you like is by your side. Isn't this the life she's been dreaming of? However, relying solely on a solar charging device. Can you drag things like refrigerators and air conditioning? Ye Tian also seemed to know what Dai Xiaomeng was thinking. With a slight smile, there was no further explanation. And this kind of high-tech, which clearly goes beyond their understanding, is not something he can explain. Without much consideration, Ye Tian turned to the second item that was preparing to be strengthened. That is a silver drone, bought on Taobao, and the price is not cheap either. To ensure shooting. The battery's endurance and camera capabilities are both top-notch. Now they are penniless. Live streaming is an important source of money for them. So, for the second item, Ye Tian chose it. There is a solar charging board with beads in front. Ye Tian is very excited about the appearance of the drone after a 10,000-fold increase. Drone return 10,000 times successfully. Return multiple 10,000 times. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a mini space frigate. The mini space frigate is made of strong interaction materials. Equipped with intelligent brain, capable of automatic cruise shooting. After charging, it can activate shipborne weapons, micro-laser guns, and energy guns. When the energy reserve exceeds 50% or more, it can also be converted into an aircraft for manned flight escort ship. Laser cannon. Be good. You know, you are a wilderness 10,000-fold return system. I don't know, but I thought you were part of the global warfare system. And it still uses strong interaction materials. This is what the trisolarans use to create water droplets, space probes. Just one detector destroyed more than 2,000 star-class battleships of humanity. Even with the groundwork of a cosmic energy harvester. Ye Tian still feels shocked. After calming down a bit. Remove the drone. A drone originally carrying 4 blades and emitting a silver metallic glow all over its body. At this moment, it's impossible to see what it used to be. The two can be said to be vastly different. The drone he bought turned into a ball. Ye Tian swayed gently. Not as heavy as the original drone. The drone seller he bought said it weighed 5 kilograms. Now, it is estimated that only half. It's hard to imagine. This palm-sized ball is actually a space frigate. There is a depression below the ball, which should be a switch. Come to my senses. Dai Xiaomeng looked at the silver ball in Ye Tian's hand like a curious baby. What is this? Ye Tian replied, drones. Dai Xiaomeng gave him a white eye with all kinds of charm. I am at least someone who has attended college. This thing not only doesn't have a charging port, but also a fan wing. How could it fly? If you release your hand, it will definitely fall. Seeing her disbelief. Ye Tian lightly touched the switch at the bottom. In an instant, the silver ball changed. It first opens a gap in the middle. Then display a series of fan-shaped puzzles from the gaps inside and outside. After these puzzles are merged into a disc. Close the gap. Finally, a UFO-like object was formed. Like a silver ball at the beginning. There are no visible traces of splicing on its surface. Ding. Jinao 001, serve the master. Please name it, master. Looking at the smooth outer walls and UFO shape of the space frigate. Ye Tian thought for a moment and said, in the future, you will be called Little Yu. Ding. Xiao Yu will do his best to serve the owner. Chapter 7. I know, this is a hiking stick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. I know, this is a hiking stick. It looks like there is no power system. Just floating quietly in the air and possessing only silver UFOs. Dai Xiaomeng suddenly felt incredulous. Rubbed my eyes. It's not a dream. Is this really a drone? She looked at Ye Tian in confusion. In her understanding, she had never seen such a thing before. No need to charge, no fans. Surprisingly able to fly over. Ye Tian knows what she's thinking. Touching Dai Xiaomeng's head, he said, "Of course, it can't be an alien spaceship. It's like a solar charger, I spent a lot of money getting it. Are you a great man? Not only is it powerful, it's simply invincible." Dai Xiaomeng's eyebrows and eyes were smiling, full of recognition. Her family already has a drone industry. And there is cooperation with the military. She has also seen military drones, which are much stronger than those on the market. But even lifting shoes for this drone is not suitable. Subsequently, Ye Tian began to check the functions of Xiaoyu. At present, the most important factors are battery life and shooting transmission. Xiaoyu, connect your phone. Ding. In the blink of an eye, little Yu connected to the phone. Explore the entire island and transmit in real time. Yes, master. Under Ye Tian's command, Shuidi began to explore the island. Ye Tianza and Dai Xiaomeng looked at the screen on their phones. As the small U increases, the screen starts to appear on the phone. The picture is not only very clear, but also without any shaking. Just like looking with your own eyes. Even clearer than one's own eyes. And little U will also lock in some special lives. Unmanned aerial vehicles on the market, including military drones. There is a delay when shooting and transmitting. But little U has no delay at all. This is too strong. Dai Xiaomeng looked at the scene in front of her and was very shocked. This is beyond her understanding. Ye Tianza is very satisfied. We have to rely on live streaming to make a living. How about not being too strong? The scenery here is picturesque. In addition, the ultra-high definition shooting function of water droplets. After the broadcast, it will definitely attract a lot of popularity for us. So we can make money. Aha! Thinking of a happy life in the future. Dai Xiaomeng nodded excitedly. Briefly review the basic situation of the deserted island. After recalling Xiao, Ye Tian is preparing to strengthen the third item. He already has a choice for the third item. They are currently on a deserted island. Apart from water, electricity, and food. The most important thing is the network signal. If they want to start a live broadcast next, they must have good network signal. Some wealthy individuals with private islands abroad. They all choose to launch their own satellites into the sky to establish private networks and communication signals. He is not so wealthy and powerful. Before coming, he only bought a Wi-Fi signal booster. The function of a Wi-Fi signal enhancer is to enhance the surrounding network signal. Then connect it. But it has certain limitations. There are occasional storms in the sea area here. Once encountering such extreme weather, the Wi-Fi signal enhancer becomes useless. And influenced by nearby areas. Very unstable. Place your hand on the enhancer. Ye Tian issued a command to the system. The system sounds. Wi-Fi signal enhancer returns 10,000 times successfully. Return multiple is 10,000 times. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the cosmic signal receiver. The cosmic signal receiver is made by fusing graphene with space crystals, possessing super strong network signals. Can accept signals from any planet in the universe, covering the entire island. Even signals from other planets can be received. There won't really be aliens in the universe, right? Ye Tian had a strong curiosity in his eyes. Compared to the beginning, his tolerance has greatly increased. Open the packaging. Remove the cosmic signal receiver. The originally rudimentary Wi-Fi signal enhancer has turned into a metal scepter about 1 meter long with a spherical top. Looking at the metal scepter in Ye Tian's hand, Dai Xiaomeng is a bit excited. Finally, there's something she knows. I know that. Let me guess. Let me guess. Looking at Dai Xiaomeng, who was eager to try. Ye Tian had a hint of a wicked smile on his face. Because of the appearance of this cosmic signal collector. It's really deceptive. Okay, you guess. Ye Tian nodded. Seeing Ye Tian agree, Dai Xiaoming happily revealed her answer. This is a hiking stick. I used this thing before when I went hiking with my parents. The deserted island we are currently on has many unknown areas. These locations and areas pose certain risks. With hiking sticks, we can not only save energy while exploring. It can also be used to detect hidden dangers. I have some understanding of survival in the wilderness. After speaking, Dai Xiaoming felt a bit proud. Chapter 8. Is this a private satellite launched into space? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Is this a private satellite launched into space? Ye Tian looked at her and I guessed it right. You should praise me quickly. But he shook his head with a smile. Ah. See, it's not a hiking stick. Dai Xiaoming felt a bit depressed. That must be a fishing rod. There are abundant fish resources here. With a fishing rod, we can fish. So you don't have to worry about food issues. After speaking, Dai Xiaoming had expectations in her eyes. Ye Tian smiled again and shook his head. Seeing and guessing incorrectly, Dai Xiaoming blushed and gently coquettishly pulled Ye Tian's hand, saying, You know how to laugh at others. Tell them quickly what this is. Ye Tian has never seen this formation before. Previously, although he had a close relationship with Dai Xiaoming. But both sides are very restrained. Holding hands and embracing is quite common. Play coquettish. They are all serious people. Under Dai Xiaoming's attack, Ye Tian was directly defeated. Gently scraping Dai Xiaoming's nose bridge, he smiled and said. Just let me tell you. This is actually a Wi-Fi signal enhancer. Hear the answer. Dai Xiaoming was immediately stunned. She was just about to refute. Because nothing in front of me seems to be related to a Wi-Fi signal enhancer. However, when it comes to the first two items. She did not question it. A square box transformed into a solar charger. A drone transformed from a sphere. What if this is really a Wi-Fi signal enhancer? She didn't speak. Seeing this, the Ye Tian Wi-Fi signal enhancer was placed on the ground and the switch was turned on. After startup. The bottom of the Wi-Fi signal enhancer extends one mechanical claw after another. Insert into the soil. Secure firmly. The middle end automatically lengthens. The top ball flew rapidly into the sky amidst the shocked gazes of the two. No trace. After a while. The signal lights on the ground have also changed from red to green. Ye Tian looked at Dai Xiaoming. Okay. Try connecting with your phone, although I don't really believe this thing can connect to the internet. But Dai Xiaoming still took out her phone. Turn on Wi-Fi and connect automatically. Turn on a certain sound. Swipe the video smoothly. Dai Xiaoming's eyes were filled with surprise. It's really possible. Open Tencent Video. /Wolf2 download. Download directly in 1 second. Dai Xiaoming's red lips parted slightly, her face incredulous. The metal object in front of me is just over 1 meter long. Surprisingly, there is really an internet connection, and it is also unobstructed. The climate here is pleasant. Now there is electricity and the internet. You can watch videos and TV. If I buy an air conditioner or refrigerator in the future, that would really turn into a vacation. Thinking of this, Dai Xiaoming turned her head and looked at Ye Tian with emotion. I thought I would elope here. Their days must be very difficult. I didn't expect Ye Tian to be so well prepared. Later, she looked proud. He is truly the man he admires. Regardless of her parents' obstruction, she must marry him. If his parents never approve of him, I'll accompany him here for eternity. We still have to have children. Boil ripe rice with raw rice. Even if my parents come, it's impossible to separate them again. Thinking about their future lives. Dai Xiaomeng has a hint of pink on her ear tips. On Ye Tian's side. It seems that she also has the same aspirations as Dai Xiaomeng. His face was full of smiles. Command Xiao to fly back into his hands. So, let's start live recording our first day on the deserted island now. Aha! It's like attending some sacred ceremony. Dai Xiaomeng nodded solemnly. You mentioned before that uncles and aunties have tremendous energy. To avoid them finding us. So, Xiaomeng, you can't show your face temporarily. Looking at Dai Xiaomeng, Ye Tian felt slightly apologetic. Understanding what he meant, Dai Xiaomeng shook her head with understanding. No way. I would be very happy to be with you. If my parents keep disagreeing with us being together, I will accompany you here until the end of time. If it's not possible, give birth to a group of children and go back. Don't believe them or agree. Then I will work hard to make money. Let's fly back then. I have such a devoted girlfriend. Ye Tian is full of fighting spirit. Especially the sentence about giving birth to a group of children. Ye Tian's heart was filled with joy as he listened. I can't take immediate action. But ultimately, I endured it. Think for a moment. In order to prevent Dai Xiaomeng from feeling useless. Ye Tian smiled and said, although you can't show your face, you can shoot. This way, we will be a couple surviving in the wilderness. Okay. Dai Xiaomeng nodded excitedly. After distancing themselves from the secular world, both of them became much bolder. After handing over Xiao Yu to Dai Xiaomeng, Ye Tian began his first live broadcast on the deserted island. Hello brothers. Have you missed me for a few days? Today will be our first day surviving in the wilderness. In front of the camera, Ye Tian turned his back to the sea, revealing his white and neat teeth. His face was filled with a strong sense of happiness. Chapter 9. Anchor, your background is too fake. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Anchor, your background is too fake. As soon as he starts broadcasting, a fan clicked in. Seeing the emerald green seawater and azure sky behind Ye Tian, they all praised him. The anchor is really impressive. But the background is a bit fake, isn't it? Is there such a beautiful place? Yeah, the background is too fake, like a paradise in the world. It's so beautiful, buried there must be very romantic. Those with sharp eyes also noticed the title of the live broadcast room. The anchor is amazing. The cute goddess really eloped with you. The title of the live broadcast room reads, Peach Blossom Land, Couple's First Day of Survival on a Desolate Island, with this person's reminder. Many people turned their attention to the title. Not for a while. Blessings such as 100-year-old marriage and early childbirth fill the screen. Watching these barrage comments, Dai Xiaomeng's face turned slightly red. But my heart is filled with a strong sense of happiness. Because it is relatively rare for couples to survive on deserted islands. So some newcomers were also attracted. On the side, Ye Tian muttered the opening remarks on his own. Some newcomers may not know me. My name is Ye Tian. He is a survival blogger on a deserted island. I'm Xiaomeng. It's a wilderness live broadcast we had together. Take care of everyone. Xiaomeng, holding her phone, also made a sound. I heard a sweet sound coming from the screen. The person watching the live broadcast on the screen. My heart suddenly throbbed. The picture quality is good and clear, and the scenery is beautiful. Follow the anchor now. The anchor is so handsome, I clicked. Xiaomeng's voice is so sweet, follow me. Originally, Ye Tian was just a small anchor with hundreds of fans. This wave directly caused his fan base to exceed 1,000. And it is still steadily growing. There's no way, with a background like Dr. Mayer. Without any embellishments, you can easily stand out from other anchor backgrounds by a few streets. Even if most people are not interested in surviving in the wilderness, they will still stop and take a look at what exactly this place is. So our wilderness survival has officially begun. Before starting, let me first tell you the specific content of our live broadcast. I believe that my live broadcast is definitely the first timeless survival challenge on a deserted island on the entire network. Yes, you heard me right, it's just that there is no time limit. If possible, we plan to live on this island for a lifetime. Damn it, Anchor, are you telling the truth? As sure as fate, Ye Tian through the ground with a sound. I don't believe it. I've seen many people before who say they want to survive on deserted islands. It's all about starting to sound good and persevering for as long as possible. As a result, in no more than 3 or 2 months, I'll find an excuse to go down to the island. That's right, I don't believe it either. You just said it, Anchor. You just went to the island. Moreover, looking at the appearance of the island, it is definitely not a domestic island. If you go abroad, even if you have a long-term visa, how long can you stay? Do you know the material conditions on a strange island? I dare to praise this haiku. Apart from anything else, how could this tropical island have the courage to say, stay for a lifetime, without a clear source of drinking water source? It's really a problem. Looking at the barrage of questioning, Ye Tian seems to have realized it later. A pale expression appeared on the face. Then look at Dai Xiaomeng. Xiaomeng, are you afraid of being thirsty to death with me? Dai Xiaomeng's face showed a strange expression. Subconsciously, I skewed Xiao's camera towards the island. And then the white beach, the emerald green seawater, and the azure sky. The dense and tall coconut trees swaying in the wind suddenly formed an oil painting. Seeing such a stunning scene, the live broadcast room was instantly filled with barrage. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot quickly. The picture is too beautiful. I want to be my phone wallpaper. The scenery there by the anchor is really amazing. Don't want to miss every frame. Xiaomeng Goddess did it intentionally. You're trying to make us envious. Nima, did you overlook the key point? Didn't you just talk about water sources? Talking about the water source, are you blind? The coconut trees all over the island will still be short of water. Dai Xiaomeng didn't expect the scenery here to be so popular. However, the more people in the live broadcast room, the better. This way, even if you don't rely on your family, Ye Tian and she can also live here for a lifetime. Thank you all. After seeing the coconut trees on the beach, Dai Xiaomeng then turned the camera back. In the camera, Ye Tian carefully selected 10 packages. Brothers, this is the package you sent me before I survived. At that time, it was agreed that I wouldn't bring any tools except for live streaming charging devices and the like. Survive by operating express delivery. Now everything is here, I just don't know what good things you sent me, but now it's the first day on the deserted island, so we have to choose a practical one. Chapter 10. Which bastard sent me this thing? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Which bastard sent me this thing? After careful selection, Ye Tian finally chose a relatively large box. That's it, the box is big, there must be something practical. Ye Tian held the package with a confident expression. Look. Look. The anchor is starting to unpack the package. I hope the anchor can dismantle some good things. It's already difficult for the anchor to survive alone in the wilderness, but now with the cute goddess, the difficulty becomes even greater. If a set of fishing gear can be dismantled, you can fish at the beach, so you don't have to worry about food. It's better to wield an axe. It can not only chop firewood, but also counterattack when encountering wild beasts. Most importantly, it can also be used when building shelters in the live broadcast room. Fans looked eagerly at the box in Ye Tian's hand. Scratch the tape with the key. Open the cardboard box, the packaging is very tight. I can't see what's inside clearly. Ye Tian gradually tore open the outer packaging. Finally, something colorful emerged. Ye Tian stared with eyes wide open. Gradually pull it out. Nima. This looking at what was in front of him, Ye Tian was stunned. Then with a glare, he looked at the camera. Who gave this thing away by meowing? Come out and lead to death. You guys are really afraid that I'll be too lonely on a deserted island. Can we have something useful? The box is quite deep, and fans in the live broadcast room cannot see clearly what is inside. After hearing Ye Tian's teasing, he was full of curiosity. Quickly zoom in on the camera. Hurry up. After Dai Xiaoming zoomed in, the live broadcast room exclaimed in surprise. Sleeping trough, what did I see? Nima, it's actually a doll, or a high-end version made of silicone, dressed in maid attire. The big shot who sends packages is so heartless. The anchor can't even eat enough when he comes to the deserted island. Give him a doll, he doesn't have the energy. Student party, if you want it, please send it. When Ye Tian saw the doll, he had already guessed what the sender was thinking. At first, I planned to go to the deserted island alone. However, my girlfriend was suddenly arranged for a blind date by her parents. Then they resolutely eloped with themselves, and they both arrived at the deserted island together. If we follow the original plan, Ye Tian may really be stimulated when he sees the doll. After all, I truly love Dai Xiaoming, but we cannot be together. But now. Ye Tian walked over to Dai Xiaoming with a chuckle and lightly tapped his face. Wife, kiss me. Live streaming room. The group of people who were laughing happily just now suddenly realized something was amiss when they heard Ye Tian calling for his wife. They seemed to have forgotten something. Sleeping trough, don't do it. We thought it was the anchor's heart that was being executed, but now I understand that it's the hearts of us single dogs that are being executed. Shit, I forgot. The anchor's plan has changed and they are surviving together with the cute goddess. I originally thought the anchor's expression would be very interesting when he received an inflatable doll for survival in the wilderness. But I didn't expect to be directly taken care of by the shrimp and pig heart, shrimp pig heart. The single dog in the live broadcast room, realizing what was going to happen next, screamed in pain. Dai Xiaoming doesn't know what's inside the box yet. After seeing the words, inflatable doll, she immediately blushed. Throwing a white eye at Ye Tian, he said coquettishly, "You let your doll kiss you." After speaking, he turned around and was about to leave in a huff. Ye Tian couldn't help feeling anxious. Wife, listen to my explanation. This is not the case. You have to believe me, we're not that kind of person. After speaking, Ye Tian, who was furious, glared at the camera again. Which bastard sent me this thing, isn't it harming me? Haha. I can testify to the cute goddess, the anchor thinks she's that kind of person. Yes, we can all testify. Little cute goddess, please stay away from that bad guy on the anchor. Don't believe his lies. Well, the doll was what he specifically wanted. If I lie, I'll be punished for going to bed and having a beautiful dream tonight. The people in the live broadcast room burst into laughter upon seeing this. Watching the excitement and stirring up the flames is not a big deal. Watching the barrage of people. Dai Xiaoming couldn't help but laugh. After a moment of hesitation, he hummed softly into the microphone. Humph, I don't believe your nonsense. Say it. Aim the camera at the ground and muster the courage to lightly peck at Ye Tian's face. Mua. Click. Heartbroken. Sleeping in bed, really kissing. Anchor, you already have a cute little goddess. Can you give me the doll? Damn it, you've already killed your heart. You're still thinking about dolls. In the live broadcast, the two people's calves were almost pressed together. Soon, the two parted ways. Dai Xiaoming's face still carried a faint blush. At this point, the system sounds. Inflatable doll returned 100 times successfully. Return multiple 100 times, congratulations to the host for obtaining an inflatable doll kayak.